The lights are very strong. Okay. Good evening, everyone. Can you come forward? Welcome to GMS Late Night Live Chat. This is not Late Night Live Chat. This is our first political rally for the January election 2025. I welcome, a warm welcome for all of you to join us tonight. This is our first rally, and it's actually a weekday. I appreciate your support. Now, before I start, I'm Goh Meng Seng. I'm a Secretary General of People's Power Party. I'm in this political arena for about 25 years this year, exactly 25 years. It's a long journey. I appreciate all the support from all you. Without your support, I would not be here today. Now, without further ado, I want to first respond to the so-called rebuttal of Mr. Pritam Singh, who have made a comment when the reporters actually asked him, what do you think of Goh Meng Seng criticizing Workers' Party for not telling us that they are not going to Marine Parade, right? But come in for the four-corner fight. You know, in opposition parties, everyone they are afraid of four-corner fights. But personally, I'm okay, because this is part and parcel of a democratic society. If our democracy want to progress, there will be a differential in ideologies, in our where we stand, in our policies. And it's actually good for the voters, in that sense that you have a choice. You have many choices. Now you have 4 choices. And you can do comparison from track record as well as a manifesto, right? You do not just read or hear what they say. You must know what they do. That is more important, in line, right? So initially, I have said this during my interview, during my nomination speech. Maybe all of you didn't go. I shall repeat here. When we saw Workers' Party team came in, some people were shocked, but I'm actually smiling. I say that's good. At least we have more choices. They are the big parties, right? Fair enough. But we are the small party in size, but not in vision. Right? And not in our core values. So this is actually healthy for us to come together to allow the voters of Tampines to scrutinize our manifesto. And that is the reason why, for People's Power Party, we decided to put our manifesto out very early. You can buy a copy of manifesto here for $10, right? Limited edition, actually, right? Later on. Now, however, when the nomination progressed, right, what happened was, suddenly the TV screen started to say, Marine Parade, Braddell Heights, no contest, walk over. In fact, I already got some messages from my friends that says that they didn't see Workers' Party going to Kwang Hua, which is a nomination center for Marine Parade. Right? I didn't believe. Until then, I was very angry. Not because Workers' Party came to Tampines to contest. No, not about that. It is because they have abandoned 130,000 of voters in Marine Parade. On what good grounds? To come to Tampines for a 3-corner fight, 4-corner fight? No one in his right mind I believe, would agree that this is a good strategic move. And why would they do that? I still, up to now, I have only one reason in mind why to do that. There's no other strategic reasons. Do you know what is the reasons I have in mind? They want to make sure Goh Meng Seng does not go into parliament. Why? Because our party is the only one and only one in Singapore that have raised concern about the vaccine during the COVID period. And we are now the only party that raised concern about a vaccine mandatory order. It's called mandatory vaccine order, which is written into law without contest from the Workers' Party MPs or otherwise. And why is this amendment of mandatory vaccine order is so important? Because it's life and death, or else I would not be here. I would have retired. Why is this life and death? Ask yourself, for the past 3 years, how many of your friends, your colleagues, even your close family members have died suddenly or suffer unknown, totally unknown syndromes without any signals? Well, we cannot say it must be the vaccine, but at least the Ministry of Health should have investigated. And you know what is the very important thing about this? Since 2021, ever since the vaccine started, not even 2020 where the pandemic started. Pandemic started, our excess death is not that high, I can tell you. But only when 2021, when they start to have vaccination, the so-called excess death, that means expected death every year. Normally, statistically, it doesn't change much. But since then, we have more than 20 to 25% of people dying than normal. That is excess death. We have raised this concern after 3 years because we want to see the data. The vaccine doesn't have long-term data. Not at all when it was pushed out. As a statistician, I am a believer of vaccine. Mind you, never believe whatever they say I'm anti-vax. It's not. I believe in vaccine. I ever says, if we want to walk out of the pandemic, there are 3 things that we need. A fast testing kit, which we have now. The second one is the early treatment protocol. So that when you have infected, you do not develop your disease, your illness seriously. Early treatment protocol. And the third one is actually vaccination. Why vaccination? If it's effective, safe and effective, that's the 2 criteria. Then it will stop the infection. I am not anti-vax. But when the vaccine was pushed out, the first thing that rings the bell, this is a new type of vaccine. It's not the normal old type of vaccine, which is proven safe, mostly safe. But this is not. This uses mRNA. mRNA technology actually is not new. It has been 30 years around, for 30 years. But it has not produced a safe medical treatment for these 30 years until they developed this vaccine. So if you or me in the know, how confident do you think you have in the safety aspect of this vaccine? And this vaccine was developed in a very fast, 6 months. Normal vaccine will take you at least 4 years to 10 years to collect data, clinical trial, 3 sets of clinical trial before you say it's safe, then we push out. But this is only 6 months. So that is a second signals that raise concern for me. As a person who believes in vaccine, I say maybe we should wait and see. And true enough, when the vaccination started in late January 2021, up to 2 months, even those who are vaccinated were all infected. Those who work in the airport, those who work in hospital. Does it mean it's effective? Not to mention about the safety aspect. It is not effective at all. In the statistical terms, if it is effective, we have 75% of vaccination, we will have herd immunity. But by then, by April 2021, I already know we are not going to achieve herd immunity with the vaccine. With this in mind, we start to see a lot of signals from US, from Europe. There are a lot of side effects coming on. That is a safety concern. I am pro-safe vax, just like Mr. Lee Kuan Yew. Your vaccine must be 100% or truly 100% safe before you allow your people to take it, or else no. But what did the PAP government did back then? It pushed the vaccine. It went to BDS, then no jab, no job. Now, they changed the law to say, this is very, very important, to say that if next pandemic, the same kind of pandemic, they have a vaccine, they will say, you must take it. If you do not take it, you will be turned into a criminal. Listen carefully, it's a criminal crime if you do not comply. And what are the penalties? You will be fined $10,000, up to $10,000, or put to jail for 6 months, up to 6 months, if you did not comply. Do you want that to happen to yourself, your family, your kids, and your friends? No. Definitely not. Everybody knows your body well, whether you have illness, whether you can take beyond a certain limit of medicine. Let us decide. Informed consent. Yes. This is what we are fighting for. So there's no other ways for us to bring this, to stop this law from being exercised, unless we are in the parliament. Yes. Workers' Party did not say anything about it. Yes. In fact, Mr. Pritam Singh actually mocked at us. Workers' Party betrayed us. Mocked at us and said we are the WhatsApp university graduate, undergraduate. This is what he said. Don't listen, don't learn from the WhatsApp university. Go and take your vaccine. But how many vaccine injured? Gone unnoticed and silent. I can tell you one story. We are just at our Tampines hub the other day. When we talk about this with a Malay lady with her and a mother, we said, next time around, do you know that he's going to change you or will force her? She started to cry. Why? I was shocked. She said to us, I'm so young, I don't want to die. Because right now, every now and then, she suffered inflammation, whether it's on the leg or on the hands, all over the body, which has never happened before she took the vaccine. And she cried. You can really see the tears in her eyes. These are the people we are fighting for. Of course, no doctors were certified she is vaccine injured. She can't get any compensation. But she knows better because it is her body. It is with much sadness when I hear Pritam Singh's brought the team come in. They betrayed 130,000 voters voting rights in Marine Parade just to stop us from getting into Parliament. To raise this issue, we want accountability. We want a committee of inquiry to the safetiness of this vaccine and all the injured. In fact, I want to do this. I want to set up an office that receives all the complaints. Whether you are really vaccine injured or not, I want the data. I want you to report to this office. And we will have the data to see how big is the data, what are the effects. And this should be done by the MOH, not us. But we want to do it once we get into Parliament. And this is what they are afraid of. And of course, we want to change the law. Why? Your body belongs to you, not to the state. It is against humans' right to force any experimental treatment, medical treatment, to anyone against their will. This law is unjust. And this is what we are fighting for. So, Mr. Pritam Singh says, oh, give an excuse. Very difficult, blame the electoral boundaries, right? We have to go to Marine Parade, very difficult to fight, right? And have to come to Four Corner fight in Tampines. Does it make sense to you? I can tell you, this is not the first time the Workers' Party have abandoned voters like that. Jalan Besar, in 2011, they want to take away Jalan Besar from NSP while I was the Secretary General. They want a three-corner fight there, which turned into Moment Kallang. I said, never mind, you are big. We respect you. I moved my team to Choa Chu Kang. Right? But after 2011, 2015, they abandoned Jalan Besar. And 2015, they want Marine Parade plus McPherson from NSP. I left NSP. Right? Well, NSP said, okay, we give you Marine Parade, but McPherson they want. But they insisted and have a three-corner fight in McPherson. NSP lost the deposit, but what happened? In 2020, it was abandoned by Workers' Party at all. The voters in McPherson nearly did not have any chance to vote. I said, well, I'm a small party, I want to retire. But never mind, I participate. Because I believe in one thing, your rights to vote as a citizen. Nobody should deprive of your rights to vote if the opposition is able to provide. And this is the role of an opposition. Without opposition, there will be no democracy. It will be a monarchy. For 25 years, whether I win any election or not, I will still contest because I believe to provide the choice for the voters, for everyone in Singapore. Everyone should vote because this is your home. You should have your right to tell the ruling party what you think about their performance through your votes. And you should have the rights to decide who represents you, your vision, your core values in Parliament. Or else it's no longer a democracy. And this is our slogan, make Singapore home again. We do not want people to be detached from a home. That is why I was very angry about what Workers' Party have done when I heard in the nomination day. You can ask my colleague. I was shouting. I said, how can you do that? If you have said so before the day, we could have, in amicable terms, okay, allow you. I have already done that for so many times. We will go to Marine Parade. But no. And right now, after that, after this is the second day, third day, second day, not a single apology from Pritam Singh to the voters in Marine Parade. And in Chinese we say, 完全是目中无人. He said respect this, respect that, but he respect nobody. He doesn't respect any other opposition members. It's all right. We are small. But he didn't respect the voters and the supporters in Marine Parade. Not a single apology. Just excuses, lame excuses. Now, the question is this. If Workers' Party under Pritam Singh can do this to Marine Parade, can he do the same to you, the Tampines voters? Just like? No. Really? Leopards never change spot. You have done that to my person, you have done that to Marine Parade, you will do it the same to you. There's no commitment or any respect of the voters at all, whether you are in Mapperson or Marine Parade, and definitely in Tampines. This is what I have to say to Pritam Singh. If one day he becomes the Prime Minister, never, you will be more PAP than PAP. Yes. Even PAP do not do that. So, it is not with anger I say this. It's with plain disappointment. Because if you want to compare, what rights do you have to tell me, oh, don't both up my strategy, I'm very big. Right? Focus on our campaign. Bro, when I was contesting 2006, where were you? And I was the one, part of the team in 2006 Workers' Party that built the platform, the foundation for Workers' Party to be what it is today. And you step on the platform and you step on us. The only thing I have regretted in my life is to build the platform for these people. This is my response to Mr. Pritam Singh. Be humble. You do not stand where you are right now without the sacrifices of political activists and the past activists like us and your supporters who wanted to vote for you, waiting to vote for you, your team for 5 years, and you disappoint them. And you brush them away without even an apology. Do you want such leader to lead the country? No. That's all for me right now. I'm going to introduce my next speaker. Next speaker is Mr. Martin Ho. He always wants me to introduce him as a humble former civil servant. He will be contesting in Amokyo GRC. Martin is really humble. Not only humble, he's very loyal. And loyal is not enough to describe him. He's very patriotic. Patriotic is not enough. It is all for the people. Even as a civil servant, he always thinks from the perspective of the people that he serves. He doesn't use the book of the rule to throw at you. He will consider everything in his power to make things happen for his client back in NEA. Right? Let us hear from him. Mr. Martin Ho.
Thank you for the very good introduction. My name is Martin Ho. In Chinese, 我的华文名是何云龙，云是代表太阳，日云的云。I hope, as a sunshine dragon, I will bring light to your path and warmth to your hearts and to all people around you. That's my name in Mandarin. Now, I grew up in the 60s and 70s, and I served my national service as a police inspector after I finished my studies, before proceeding to get my engineering degree from the first batch of NTU, which was known as NTI back in those days. So you can imagine how old I am. My contemporaries have served in Ang Mo Kio before as MPs, Lee Bee-wah, Inderjit Singh, and they have retired 5 years ago. And here I am as a retiree coming back to serve you, not because I need a job, but because I feel that I have the time and the capacity to serve the people who are really in need. I visited Ang Mo Kio for these past few days, walk around. I see so many old people, some cannot walk, some jobless. And then they worry that their savings may run out. And then what? With the cost of inflation? So I'm here to serve you, and I decided to support Goh Ming Singh because of what he has said about the vaccines. So with a name that ends with a dragon, Ming Singh decided to put me in Ang Mo Kio because he said, that's the dragon's den. This Xian Long Ma, the show dragon Xian Long, he has shown all his powers, his ability to rule Singapore. Not easy. I saw him that day. I greeted Mr. Lee. I'm very sad for him because he looks weak. He has been in politics for 40 years. He needs a good break. But unfortunately, 放不下。心不在，他是放不下，他的心智还在新加坡，这个是真的。他很多事情放不下。Recently, because of the trade tariffs, he was so frightened of what will happen to Singapore. But I think things have changed the better. So I told my cousin, please tell Mr. Lee. I think my cousin knows him. I think he should be more settled down. Don't worry too much. So when he told me you are going to enter the dragon's den, I thought of the movie Enter the Dragon. Oh my goodness, in that movie, the little dragon Li Xiaolong had to defeat the very powerful, dominant gang leader Sekin, in order to leave the island alive. He was formidable, very powerful. I think all of you who have watched the videos or the movies, if you are as old as me, would have remembered how tough the fighting was. Blood all over. But he survived. And the little dragon went on to play the game of death. Big mistake. Now, if I win, I will play the game of life. Not the game of death. Because it's your life and my life, as what Ming Singh has said. We should have the right to decide what is best for our body. And talking about life, in Chinese they say, 生老病死. That's life. The moment we are born, we are destined to die. But let's make it less painful, more enjoyable, more meaningful, while we go through this earthly existence called life. Do you agree with me? Okay. But in Singapore, I remember back in the 60s and 70s, I used to see stop at 2 posters because even though we were poor, our parents were producing so many children until Mr. Lee got worried whether can provide enough jobs and food for the population of Singapore. The irony is that the richer we got, the less children we have, so the total fertility rate now is below 1. I know Mr. Lee is also scratching his head, so he thought, we need to employ more, we need to bring in more foreigners to make up the numbers. But what is the root cause? One of the root causes of the low fertility rate is because of the high cost of starting a family. Over the years, your HDB prices keep on going up. Your salary may have gone up, but your job security has gone down. So you worry, like my friend there, still not married at 34. He says, no security. No, I don't know. I cannot find my path. I hope I can shine some light to his path. I was talking to him. I encouraged him. I said, hey, you are an IT specialist, You are better than me in digging and analyzing the data. Why don't you make use of your ability to monetize it to make money? Yeah, but he has a bit of handicap. He's afraid of public speaking. So he says, I actually wanted to learn public speaking, but I got no time. If I can do a good public speaking, I probably will do very well and be very successful in life. And I have to agree with him because he's very intelligent. Okay. So our policies, in order to bring up the birth rate, we need to make sure our young people before the age of 30 able to have a house of their own to get married. So one of the suggestions, for example, is to provide cheap housing by cutting away the land costs for these young couples. And after that, when they have enough children, they want to upgrade, let them upgrade and then they pay more. But if they sell the house in the open market, that will be more expensive because it will include land costs. The land cost has to be given back to the government. Like a loan, right? Fair, right? There are solutions to the problem to help young people have children. Now, one of the reasons why I'm still single is because that time I know flat prices are going up. I wanted to quickly buy a flat, but I cannot because he said, you are still single. Then I cannot go and anyhow find one, marry, and then regret. So I sold my parents' flat. I put their name. I bought an executive flat. Executive flat, so what? In-laws, very hard to get along in the same house. So I'm a very filial son. I took care of my mom until she passed away 2 years ago. But I say it's okay. Stay single. At least I took care of my mom. I did not incur extra burden or extra guilt on myself and on my mom. So now I have a lot of free time to take care of the old people in Ang Mo Kio, as well as hopefully the young children who need a lot of help. Because many of them, their parents don't have enough money to feed them and they are like one meal a day, hungry, have to study. Then their brains cannot work very well, no? And then our government look at them, hey, invest in you, might as well invest in those foreign children from China, India. They are more brilliant, they are smarter. Well, maybe because they come from China and India where food is abundant, their brain is more developed. They come here, they compete with our young people and, we all look so inferior. How can? Right? Our ancestors also come from India and China. And after staying in one of the so-called very well-to-do country in the world, we are producing children that are inferior to those from third world countries. No, I don't agree. So the next phase of their lives will be job security, which we want to promote, followed by retirement. Now, when you retire, one of the greatest concerns is your health care. We need to allow more use of the MediSave for those really in need on a case-by-case basis. Today I was talking to one of the guys I met at Ang Mo Kio. He said, my mom has 17,000 in her MediSave, but cannot use already. And then how? Wait for her to die and then the 17,000 passed to me. By then it's no use. I don't want this money. I want to use the money for her medical expenses. So things like this, these are the things that people struggle with healthcare. So there's a need also to lower the cost of essential goods and healthcare to help the poor people, the young people, the needy people, the young people tide through these difficult times, especially with our special extra boosted rate of inflation, which retirees are finding it to cope, and those who are jobless or holding temporary gig jobs. Wow. I let him talk about it afterwards. It was a struggle. That's why we got him in to share. Okay. So now, in conclusion, I will say that I support Ming Sing with his stand on the vaccine mandate. I hope what I heard just now is true, because one of our supporters bumped into Mr. Lee and asked him about the vaccine mandate, and he said it's not compulsory. So we need not fear, but it's already legislated. We don't know when this legislation will be enforced on us. I hope with your support, we can make what Mr. Lee promised us, that it's not compulsory, come true. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I will now, from now on, will not talk about Workers' Party ethics in politics. He wants us to focus on our campaign, right? From now on, we are going to talk about our manifesto. Right? Our manifesto slogan is very simple. Make Singapore home again. What does this mean? You know, last time, when I was away as an officer cadet course, go to Starlight, fly, first time flying, right? And when I flew back after 3 weeks, the first thing I want to do is to kiss, not Trump says, is to kiss the land of my homeland. It is that type of passion for the land. A home is somewhere, some place they will die for to defend. This is home, because you know there's no other place like home, and you will lay your life to defend this home. However, all the guys down here, when you go back to the ICT, what do you see? There's no one with a passion to say, I want to do it right, to defend this country. Even the young ones in the army boys, they no longer have that passion to say, I want to train hard so that I can defend this land. Do you know why? Because when you go back to ICT, other people will steal your lunch. They will get the promotion, not you. This is a very common problem among us when we go back to reservist training. Because of population policies, we become demoralized. We felt that we are the second-class citizens in Singapore. Our young ones do not have a vision of where their career path will bring them to. They may have a job, especially in IT, but later on you become a contract staff. What is a contract staff? When you become a contract staff, you do not have a career path. You will only be treated as a digit for the quota for the companies to employ more foreigners. And when they employ them, they become part of their employment force. They will have the career path, not you. This is a sad state of our situation in Singapore for the young ones. When your young ones do not have a vision of a good life in Singapore, they will start to think of migration. 20% of Singaporeans wanted to migrate out of Singapore. 60% of Singaporeans want to work overseas because they have seen no future in here. Do you call this home? With this in mind, our population policies have put it very simple. All the HR department in Singapore companies should be led by Singapore citizens. Because if you put a Chinese mainlanders or Indian mainlanders to be a PR, the next thing you will see, the whole village will come. Do you think so? Yes. That is a fact of life. We say we do not discriminate, but we are, after all, human beings. But for us, this is our land. Singaporeans should come first for jobs and for career, for promotion. When the MNCs put up shop down here, set up shop down here, all the top people will be their own people employed from their country, right? Not us. But our own MNCs, our own banks will employ foreigners to become the CEO. We change our corporate culture because of this. We do not retain the Singapore identity, even in our corporate culture. And that is all the wrong things that is happening in our business, in our jobs, in our livelihood. But nobody wants to talk about it because we will be called xenophobic. It is not xenophobic. If a government do not take care of its own people interests first, the people will betray the nation in no time. They will run away. With further ado, I'm going to talk about policies. Later on, don't ask me about Pritam Singh again. I'm not interested in him. I'm not gay, right? The next one is our youngest candidate so far in this contest. Heng Zhendao from Ang Mo Kio GRC.
Hi everyone. Thank you, Mr. Goh. Thank you for coming. Thank you for making yourself available here today. It is with my sincerity that I thank you to listen to what we have to say. And today, I'm going to introduce myself. I'm Zheng Dao. So I'm born in 2000. I'm turning 25 this year. Right now, I'm 24. And many of you might have the question of where I came from so suddenly. Understandable. So, a brief introduction about myself. I have a diploma in landscape design and horticulture. That has been my interest in plants. Basically, it's plant science and plants design. So, growing up, I've been interested in plants and greenery. I think most of my generation, we are brought up knowing that there's something wrong with the ozone layer. There was a hole in the ozone layer. That was what I went through. Thus, I'm concerned about the environment. Of course, my upbringing, I have to survive on financial assistance scheme. I relied on food vouchers. So, I had to actually think about my food security. You know, Singapore as a country, we import a lot of our food from overseas. That's also another reason why I decided to study plants and learn more about farming. So I actually learned more about hydroponics. I ran a workshop for it. I learned about mushroom farming, durian farming. This is what I went through for the last 24 years of my life, and it's just a short introduction of myself. Today, I'm here standing as a candidate, trying to voice out the worries of Singaporeans over the next 5 years. Once a time in 5 years, you have the chance to vote. And we have to look forward of what the next 5 years would bring to us. So, in 5 years' time, what we are told to expect from the PAP government is a possible increase of GST, as well as the introduction of carbon tax, which I don't know how many of you are aware of, and it will definitely affect our high cost of living. This issue must be highlighted and made known to the public. Right? We must know what is about to come in 5 years' time so that we can choose our vote, who to vote for, and this is why I joined People's Power Party, where we decided we are a party of policies first. You vote based on which party have the right and logical policies and make the most sense to you, not because of party branding and whatever clout they have. This is my opinion, and I hope you can understand what I'm trying to say. So, let me take a look at the statistics. I don't want to quote it wrongly. Okay, introduced in 2019, carbon tax has been in place at a price of $5 per ton. In the next few years, especially this year and next year, we are looking at a price of $25 per ton. And the next 5 years, from $5 per ton, we are increasing it to $45 per ton. This is a 9-time increase of the carbon tax in the next 5 years. If you think the cost of living is high now, think about the cost of living in 5 years' time. Why I'm here today is to highlight to you more issues that will arise in the next 5 years. Cost of living now is already through the roof. Our policy is retirees must retire in peace. We have worked so hard for the nation. In the next 5 years, we are fighting in Parliament to not let the GST be affected in essential items like food and healthcare. These are the daily essential items that retirees will need to buy in the next 5 years so that they can retire peacefully. Be logical in who you vote for in the next 5 years. And the next issue I would like to highlight is the immigration policy, which I'm sure they talk about. Youngsters like me, we studied so hard. Because of my background, I didn't have any access to tuition, paid tuition. I'm thankful that my secondary school teachers, they spend the time to sit down after school hours to tutor me for free. That's what I grew up in. I'm thankful to them. But the next 5 generations, next 5 years, we must think of the immigration policy, how people my age are affected by the increase in foreigners. Increase in foreigners does not mean that I do not value them. I work in the plant industry. I work with workers from Myanmar. I work with workers from India, and I build a camaraderie around them. Everybody's life is not easy. For the next 5 years, you have one chance to vote for. And that's it. And the next 5 years, what nobody has talked about is the introduction of AI, how it will hurt our livelihood. I grew up doing food delivery, and these gigs jobs like cashiering, food delivery, are part of my puzzle growing up, where I can support my family as I grow up, as part-time jobs. In the next 5 years, we are looking at AI, self-driving cars, which might take out the rice bowl of Grab drivers, food delivery drivers in the next 5 years. You all can laugh at Samuel for singing. That's his expression of the pain felt in his heart. You all are laughing at him. In the next 5 years, imagine what happened if automated cars are brought out in the streets. How many of us depend on Grab and all these food delivery drivers to earn a living? Once these food delivery drivers and automated vehicles hit the market, what will happen to your livelihood? It's a very scary thought. Where will all these jobs go? Laugh at him and you know what you want. There's one Samuel here. 5 years later, how many Samuels are there going to be? So with this, I hope in the next 5 years you'll understand how important your vote is, and why I'm putting myself out here at such a young age to speak for the young people. Otherwise, I just received a text from my friend yesterday. He said he's going overseas for work. It saddens me. As much as I wish him the best, I hope it doesn't become a common sight in the next 5 years, where Singaporeans like me look for a job overseas. So, let me wrap up my speech. With the increase of foreigners, I've been looking at some other issues. Our local culture and their foreigner culture. There have been disagreements whereby these foreign talents, foreigners, have their interest in cycling on the road and have issues with our local drivers and the culture they bring in. Some of them are not good. You know, last few months, we have been looking at foreigners urinating in public transport. This is a common complaint, not a common complaint. This is a complaint I received from Ang Mo Kio residents. Not only in public transport, HDB areas in Ang Mo Kio's, people urine inside the lift. Since when have our culture become like that? It's unimaginable to me, you know. So for looking forward, we must understand as Singaporeans where we are headed towards. Thank you for making your time today. 大家好，我这次用华文来介绍我自己。简单的介绍，刚才我的演讲可能会把你们讲得太久。我名字叫王正道，我的背景是我从理工学院出来的，我毕业的文凭是园艺学和植物设计。我从小对植物有个爱好。因为我长大的时候，他们说这个二氧化碳对我们的 ozone layer 有很大的影响，有个洞。那时候他们说地球要灭亡了，我不知道你们记不记得，那是我长大的情景。然后我长大的时候，我是靠着一个 financial assistance scheme 食物 voucher 汇券长大的。我也很关心我们吃的食物，我们吃的问题。尤其是新加坡这么小的国家，我们靠着外国运口进来的食物来养着我们的人民。因此，我的背景是在这些植物上，还有蘑菇、榴莲这些种植上，这是我个人的兴趣。简单的介绍一下自己，为什么我在这么小的年龄，在这里要为新加坡出一口气？是因为我们未来5年里，我所看见的情景让我很担心。大家现在的生活费已经很高了。我对红帽桥的居民，我们采访时、走路时问他们的问题，他们说生活费真的很高。但是，在未来的5年里，你们知道会有什么政策吗？ GST 还会再起，还可能会起1%。还有二氧化碳 carbon tax 会流行出来，现在是1单5块，未来在5年里会起到45块，这对我们消费者是很大的影响。水电费上，这些问题不会减少，在未来的5年里还会影响到我们的生活。然后我们外国人的政策对我们新加坡人公平吗？我相信刚才吴明胜还有 Mr. Martin 已经大概跟你们介绍了我们觉得的外国人口政策。HR 总部人事部应该请由新加坡人来担保，这样子我们新加坡人才会深受第一个考虑。公司请的时候才会考虑到应该请我们新加坡人先，这是我们的政策。我不想看到我们未来我的年代，在5年里我读书读了这么久，出来找不到工作。 一个大巴窑 B 站的居民跟我分享，他大学的女儿孩子有困难找工作。你想想，我们未来5年里会不会更容易？你们这5年投的一票，是我们未来5年的方向。你们应该熟悉我们每一个党的政策。我感谢你们花时间下来了解我们。然后，未来5年里，我们现在已经有人工智能、机器人的时代已经来临了。然后最近，你们在嘲笑我们的队友山木，他所唱的那首歌，对很多人听起来很好笑。但是你们有想过他的感受吗？他为什么要唱这首歌？他是找不到工作，他是失去了工作。在未来5年里，我们已经看到了机器人代替清洁工人了。德士司机呢 ？Grab driver 呢？在未来5年里，你们觉得你们的饭碗还是铁饭碗吗？你们想一想，我是做过送货的 ，Food Panda 我做过。未来5年里，这些人工智能对你们的生活影响会多大？你们投的一票，你们投的这一票，代表你们未来5年的方向。政府为人民考虑先，或者为机器人考虑先？你们想清楚，你们这一票要投给谁的？好，我再次在这里感谢你们大家花时间下来，谢谢你们。
正道 I have to spend a lot of time to convince him to come forward. And I've seen some of the comments from the internet. Oh, so young, what can he do? What can he represent? But I can tell you, if imagine when you are 24 years old or 25 years old, how many years of working experience do you have? He has already at least 15 years of working experience. The livelihood. 10. Wow, 报大数. Right. These are the young people who have gone through the hardship and they want to have a good life, just like everyone else. They do not want to be left out. That's why I decided to fill a team 老中少 because in a home, the concept of home, you must take care of the old, elderly, retirees, the middle-aged working class, and the young ones for their exploration. We do not want the same kind of people, the elites that people you have seen. They're also singing singing karaoke and all that. Always say, wow, always come from bare background, but they are now earning, well, not $1 million maybe, but $500,000 maybe per year. But these are the ordinary people that I've selected. Because my party is called People's Power Party. It's not called Elite's Power Party. Right. The next speaker, Thaddeus Thomas. Thomas. He's a very interesting guy. He can speak Mandarin.
Good evening, Tampines. Yes, I can speak Mandarin. 我们是新加坡人啊，我们全部可以讲华语。我们印度人不要跟你讲而已啊。Okay, you know that there's a lot of gossips we can hear in office and all lah. So that's one of the benefits. Anyway, they say east side is the best side, so we will see how it goes. So as you can see, I've scripted here as also with some of my colleagues because these days the rally, there's a lot of clauses involved. You know, saying the wrong things you can get POF mark for that. So in that bit, it is scripted. Elections when rally is
Saying me right.
no. when the rally is going on, emotions will fly, I tell you. That is when people will utter what is in their hearts, but it's actually not politically right. So that is why I have it down here. So bear with me. So many of you all have come here after work. Heart is heavy, leg is tired. But this is what we have to do. This is since the last 10 years since we had a rally. Okay, so moving forward, my name is Thaddeus. I'm from the Ang Mo Kio team, with a few of my colleagues here. And for those who do not know Mr. Goh, he is a commissioned officer in the army many years ago. Mr. Goh has given his heart and soul for Singapore, if you know what I mean. He is one of the last generations of Singaporeans who have spent decades of their life, time and money in politics for a cause many of us only can rally from behind. Mr. Goh also wanted to be transparent with his manifesto for Singaporeans, unlike other parties which take a safe approach and omit values and questions like the LGBTQ and vaccines, just to garner votes from all walks of life. We have heard the nomination speeches from the other parties, promising you well-being, stability, and their safety nets. The same promises we have heard years and years over and over again, like the Swiss standard of living. Now, currently, the only thing Swiss is the Swiss roll you buy from the cake shop. The question you have to ask yourself is, how have you been living in the past 5 years? Were you living or were you surviving? Yes. Before you vote, I want you to remember, how many times have you survived on the last $50 in your pocket? You know who you are. Was this what we voted for? 5 years ago, no. Dear Singaporeans, our intentions are actually to strengthen the current policies in place and to question anything out of line. Those who will be voting for us have been hurt. They have been bitten by the same system that promised us the Swiss standard of living. There are also those who think that I'm actually okay, Bripaile, I'm stable, shall we just not rock the boat? I don't mind paying a bit more for the high cost of living. You can do that, but I'll tell you, nothing lasts forever, even cold November rain. Those days, when we hear the rally, we heard them saying, we need to elect the opposition to be the co-driver so that we can slap the driver when he falls asleep. Remember those days? Those was the past. You know why? Now we are all at the back of the lorry on this bumpy ride. Some has fallen off and the lorry is making a U-turn now. We stand here today with everything to lose. But we still stand. We stand together to say enough is enough. Because, gentlemen, there is no fight better than fighting for a common Singaporean. We have given in over the years. Give face. I cannot mention. Lucky I got it scripted. Almost came out the mouth. That is why the script is important. Time over time, we have given in and given in. Until now, the one-time is $5. I cannot promise you, but I tell you, you make an educated guess. When the one-time becomes $7 next year, you know what will happen. Those who are able to migrate will migrate. But the balance, me and you, if nothing is done, 5 years later, same time, same place, Mr. Goh, you will see us speaking here again.
No more.
That is why I said, this is the time, ladies and gentlemen, because this Secretary General You can never find in my generation who will pour out everything just to hold the people together, to lead any team up to this stage. Ladies and gentlemen, when you go to bed tonight, to sleep, to retire your tired legs and your weary eyes, think, if this is what you want, is this the lifestyle we have all been brought up, taught, been educated for? You want this and for your children? No. Before I end my speech, I don't want to be more draggy. I do have a few words to say to first-time voters and young voters who are going to vote. It is your generation now that you and your spouse will have zero in your MediSave ordinary account because of the high housing costs. In the next decade, we won't hear Singaporeans saying, return our CPF, return our CPF, boleh ah, bukit liao, loncong ke HDB liao. You won't hear that anymore. No more CPF, no more retiring fund for that. All has gone up to the house. It is in your interest to understand the politics of this country is moving towards. They know they have the statistics of how our undergraduates are struggling to find a proper job. Take advice from the people who have worked alongside foreigners in the real dog-eat-dog world. Wanang kong si kau jiak kau. Kau jiak kau. Because Singaporeans, you are being compared to the other class of people. You are dispensable at any time. Unlike us, some people have CEO positions and high posts waiting for them. Seats being warmed. Not for you and me. We have to struggle. Don't compare yourself to your parents. It will only make you feel ugly. Their generation was different. Our generation was different. Frankly speaking, if the HDB 4-room flat cost 40,000, I wouldn't be here. I'll be voting for PAP. But don't despair. Have faith. We have faith in you, which is why we are here standing and telling you what rightfully belongs to you must belong to you. But first, it will not come easy. It will come with a fight. Only you have what it takes to make Singapore home again. This time around, ladies and gentlemen, vote, but vote with your heart. Thank you, Singapore. Till I see you the next rally, do support us in Ang Mo Kio.
Thank you. Thank you, Tatus. Very fun guy. Okay. For the first-time voters, I met some of the first-time voters in Tampines in one coffee shop. 22 years old, still in poly. You know what he told me? He said, I'm not going to vote. I look at him, I say, why didn't you want to vote? He said, vote also no use. He said, vote also no use. Why no use? I said, this is your country. No other country owes you a living, owes you a good education. If you go to other places to study, you have to pay a lot of money. But not in Singapore, because our parents built this country, contribute to the progress of this country. And you should be proud when you can vote, because you can decide the destiny of this country. Why would you think that it's useless to vote? You know what? He's demoralized. He cannot see the future. When I graduate from universities, the common thing is 5 C's. Right? Car, credit card, condo, cash, and country club. But what Lawrence Wong talk to us about what? Oh, no more. We forward Singapore. No more 5 C's. We don't need that. Is that so? It's because our young ones cannot see the day they can have 5 C's in their life. And you actually package it in such a way it's forward Singapore. It's actually backward. Why? For the car. Do you know that they fixed the number of CEOs, right? COEs for cars to 1 million. But at the same time, every year they are going to increase the population of Singapore by 30,000 people. It is a simple economics problem. Population went up, demand will go up. But who will get the car? Who will get the CEO? COE. Always CEO. COE. Who? Not your children, not our youngsters, but the filthy rich, millionaires and billionaires that PAP is so proud to bring in. Even said we are not enough, we want to bring more millionaires and billionaires. What is 100,000 to them? Nothing. But what is 100,000 to our young ones, our people? Everything. And this is why they want to manage our expectation of the young ones. No more 5Cs. Don't talk about 5Cs. Want to forward. Absolutely bullshit. We have lost our dream for young ones. That is why the young ones are not going to vote. They don't see the point. They don't see this place as their home again. We want to change this, definitely, by control the population. Do you know what is the ultimate population they are going for? Do you know, anyone? 10 million. But hey, can be by Pofma one, 10 million by when? It's 2065. How do I know? Right? I didn't go into Lawrence Wong's office and take a peek. No. Because when they increase your water tax, bond tax by 30%, what is the reason they give you? Oh, because the water consumption is going to be double, right? By 2065. Remember? If you work backwards, back then it's 5.7 million people. If the water consumption is going to double, who consume the water? The dogs are. Right? The monkeys? Yeah, population, foreigners. That's why the consumption will go. The population will grow by 80%. And that's why it's 10 million people in 2065. They don't dare to tell you what they plan for. They only want to text you and tell you other things. Do you want 10 million people in this little island? Not only for yourself, for your future generation? You think carefully before you vote. And we want to stop this. No. 6.5 million is the max for us to live comfortably. And this is in our manifesto. Please buy a copy of manifesto. You want $10 per copy. Compare our manifesto and we think forward. Right? The next person I want to introduce is the leader of the Ang Mo Kio team, William Lim.
亲爱的淡滨尼集选区的居民，晚上好。今天我们来到这边，就是要帮忙人民力量党的候选人助阵。首先，我想问你，哪一个党都是律师，律师还是律师？只有2个党，我不说，你们也知道。他们最厉害的是什么？错了，不是法律。他们最厉害的就是把你从书上骗下来。 对吗？他们所讲的让你们最喜欢听到的，不过他们所讲的是对新加坡合适吗？政治理念是不是我们想要的？现在让我介绍一个人，我不要介绍我自己，也不要说我的信念，让我介绍我在新加坡认识了10年的好朋友。他在新加坡人当中好像是一个小丑，不过他是一个小丑吗？他没得到每个新加坡人的感谢，那就是吴明胜先生。他在2011年在这里，他并不陌生，就是在这里淡滨尼集选区讲了祖屋增长计划，有谁听过吗？他在这里打了马宝山，在新加坡历史创造了一个奇迹。什么奇迹呢？反对党在2011年成功的拿下了第一个集选区，他就是第一天在2011年的时候就开始讲祖屋增长计划是 PPP 的骗局。有没有人感谢过他？没有。到现在为止 PPP 都不敢再讲说祖屋增长计划了，因为我们的祖屋在99年的时候就是剩下0。这是你们想要的吗？有些人是说我们的祖屋可以延寿，不过我们的祖屋可以延寿的这么长吗？然后我们还有这么多人民要照顾，又要翻新我们的祖屋，绝对不可能超过99年的。那我就不要讲这些了。第二个，他也是第一位在讲印度的 treaty GRC， 他在2014年他跟我一起同台。什么台呢？就是要求李显龙前总理下台。他在那一年他跟每个人讲 GRC 印度的贸易协定导致到129个工作业可以把印度人引进来。这就是那时候2015年开始人才慢慢知道这个西嘎最近。然后呢，其他党就把他的这个西嘎最低呢发扬光大。不过有谁谢谢他呢？有谁跟他讲说他是说的对的？现在呢，他不是一个演讲家，我还觉得他很啰里啰嗦，对吗？不过如果你们仔细静下来的听， 他所讲的是不是我们想要知道真正的答案呢？第三，2019年发生了什么事？有人知道吗？2019年，执政党突然间禁止了 PMD， 很多送外卖的员工突然间一夜之间工作不见掉了，有些人甚至花了几千块去买那架机器。那我想请问你，是谁帮这些员工 BMD gig workers 零工跟他们打抱不平？又是吴明胜先生。有谁再次感谢他？没有。2020年，我们又拿到第二个集选区，他的功劳没有人要说出来，因为呢，在新加坡我们有一个很坏的毛病，那就是追星病。追什么星呢？你知我知，大家都知。他们讲什么太阳从西边上来，他们也是觉得对的。我希望你们可以聆听吴明胜先生所讲话，谢谢。
In 2011, I contested in Tampines. I led the team. The team is not as good as the team right now. Okay, that's number one. This is a frank assessment. But we have a 11% swing, because Tampines is actually a fortress. It's actually a fortress. They throw a lot of money in upgrading, especially during Ma Bao Tan's time. He's a minister of national development. Throw money. Right? But I want to debate with Ma Bao Tan about asset enhancement, HDB asset enhancement. I call it a scam. I dare to say that. They do not dare to puff mommy. Why? Because your HDB is 99 years lease. You are just a leasee. When it comes to 99 years lease, it becomes kosong. But you know what? Even LKY, Lee Kuan Yew, say your HDB values will always go up. That is utter nonsense. Only I can say he's utter nonsense. Nobody dares. Do you know why? Because this is the law. When it comes to 99 years lease, you have seen the government will take back the properties. They are starting to take back some of the properties. If you have noticed, that is the result. Your HDB will never forever go up. For those young people who want to buy $1 million HDB, please don't. Please don't. You are going to regret it. And why you can afford, so-called, is a false sense of affordability, because they allow you to use your CPF to buy, right? And you know what? Desmond Lee is so happy. The statistics tell you that, people are happy. You don't need to use cash. You can buy a house all by CPF, correct? So it's affordable. That is utter rubbish. I dare to say that. Why? It gives you a false sense of affordability, because you are using your retirement fund to give you the false sense of affordability. You know, right now, over 70% of retirees have less than $500 from their pay, CPF paid out. $500, how do you survive? Can you survive? You ask a minister come and survive on $500 per month. They can't. And yet, GST will lower their purchasing power. I don't have fair artificial language. I talk facts. I'm a very straightforward person because my background is economics and statistics. When I see the injustice and the 骗术, I will rise up and say it out. And the only reason why I'm in politics is because of HDB asset enhancement. Why? When I want to get married in 1990s, I started to awaken. How come I'm going to pay 10 times of what my parents had paid in 1980s? 10 times. Not 2 times, not 3 times, 10 times the amount. I was shocked. But yet, people say, oh, you can afford it. And the upgrading and HDB asset enhancement, everybody are crazy because they thought that they can earn money by selling and sell off and buy, right? But you are wrong. Who pays for it? Your children. Because you're pushing up the prices and your children will suffer. And that is what we are facing right now. That's why I dare to say HDB asset enhancement is a scam. It would never forever go up because of a 99-year lease decay. When your HDB reach 50, 40 years old, 50 years old, you start to see it goes down. Why? Because no banks will be willing to finance the buyer the full amount, the 80% or 90%. They will cut the amount that they would finance it. That's why the demand of your flats by then will drop and your value will drop. It is simple economics. That's why I want to fight Bao Bao Tan. In spite of the fact he got nearly 70% before that. I asked him to debate for 3 times. He didn't dare. Although I didn't win in 2011. He lost his job. This is the only time when the opposition challenged a minister, even without winning, the minister loses his job. And that's Goh Ming Sing. So, just now my friends were saying about this. Because of HDB, you know what? Low Tia Kiang didn't believe in this when I talked to them. Because I come into politics, I want to talk about this. Mr. Low Tia Kiang, with due respect to him, he said, Singaporeans are very happy about it. I was very disappointed when I was in Workers' Party. And that's why I left. Why? Because I hold the torch of truth, not politics. When you know the truth, as an educated person, you will defend the truth and tell the truth to the people. You do not cheat them, you do not blind them with greed and with fear. And this is my character. That's why when I went to NSP, I said I want to have this as a key issue. They say, okay, I want to be Tampines because it's ministerial specific. I want to debate Ma Bao Tan about the HDB asset enhancement. They say, okay. And that is what happened in 2011. Now I come back because I have nowhere to go. Because I believe in Tampines voters. You have done it once for me. And I hope you can do it the second time for me. Because I believe Tampines voters are rational. When they know I speak sense, they will support. And that's why I'm here. Do not be blinded by big brands. Politics is not about politicking, it's about policies. Right? The next speaker is a very important person in my life, in my political career. Right? He's actually about 10 years younger than me, more than 10 years. Right? He's my chairman of a People's Power Party, and he's going to contest in Tampines, and he lives in Tampines. Right, Derek?
Good evening, everyone. Well, I'm actually very nervous because this is my first rally. Okay, so let's get together and shout good evening again. Good evening, everyone. That's very good. Okay, this boss, he always like to lao basai one. Every time talk about NS, talk about home, he will always get very emotional. And that is how much he loved this country. How I get to know this PPP is during one night, I can't sleep. So I went through my Facebook and stumbled upon PPP live chat, GMS live chat. So if you observe his live chat, you'll realize that he actually is very naggy. He's like a lecturer. He lectures a lot of data. But if you quiet down your minds and go through, you realize that he has a very strong political acumen. For example, one of the live chat, he said that PAP is bullshitting. They are using the medium income of the country to tell Singaporean that your HDB is affordable. Why is it bullshitting? Because only the young people buy the BTO. You should not use the national medium income. That is why I say this guy is very sharp. If we can put him into the parliament, he will ask very sharp questions in front of our minister. There's no more bullshitting. It will be better than a lot of big brands opposition right now. Over here, we don't 好笑. You understand? 好笑 means we bullshitting, boost. 愛怕就怕，賣怕愛講，無止怕咪講，這陣無人怕，無人怕啊，但是無人怕啊。So I'm equally disappointed lah. But before I start the things I want to say, let me introduce myself. My name is Derek Sim. I'm 44 years old, going 45. So I started working at the age of 16 years old, almost like Zheng Dao. After Sec 4, I worked as a cashier in supermarket. Then I worked as a pump attendant as well as a janitor in a pump station. I financed my poly education. During my poly education, I worked as a waiter and as a tutor until I graduated from Singapore Polytechnic. I have a diploma in chemical process technology. I signed on for Singapore Police Force and all my police colleagues. I saw some of them, ex-colleagues. So I was in the police force for 8 years. 4 years in community policing, which is the uniform officer sitting in the police post. Right now, there's lesser police posts compared to my times. And then I was posted to become an IO. IO stands for Investigation Officer. I was in the scene of crime unit. Some of you older folks might see me on the newspaper or on the crime watch. So after that, I was posted to traffic police in the serious violation investigation officer. So a lot of people ask me why I come in. Okay, then now I'm a financial advisor. I'm a practicing advisor and an associate director in a financial advisory firm for the past 15 years. So a lot of people ask me, why did I come into politics and why choose such a small party? Just now I mentioned, it's not about the party branding, but what is the core values and what is the topic we're going to say out. Today, I'm going to just now a lot of speakers have said many topics. I'm going to add on more. First, I'm going to add on something very severe, which is the vaccine. Earlier, Goh Meng Seng has talked about the Vaccine Mandatory Act. It's under the Infectious Disease Act, Section 47 and Section 65. So just remember, 4765. Can buy 4D lah. 4765. 头奖4765. Okay, but you all go and check it out. Not only that, because over here we cannot 好笑, we cannot puff ma. It's really, really very serious. In the next pandemic, if you do not jab, they will jail you. Remember in 2020 during the general election, it was swiftly caught. If you have known that PAP government will push the no jab, no job, will you elect them? No. And this time round, why am I stepping up? I can chill at home. But because of this thing, no other opposition parties is willing to speak up. To be honest, I have held many press conferences previously, 3 times. All my message has been blacked out by the media. So today is a live one, they cannot black out. Yeah. And yesterday, for the first time, my message on the vaccine mandate was announced on in the nomination center. So at least for the first time, because it's live, get out. The other thing more severe that Meng Seng didn't talk about is during 2023, not only did the Parliament amended the Infectious Disease Act, they also amended the Corona Act. Corona Act, there is 2 parts that there must be an inquiry. So one of the death is death due to medical intervention. So this category of death was totally removed from the Corona Act. So ask yourself, why our parliament want to remove this act?
Evidence. Remove evidence.
Probably. You answer it yourself. Second is, they also empowered our health officer, overarching power. During a pandemic, they can enter your house without warrant to implement health measure. So you couple these 3 amendments, what is it for you in the next pandemic? A lot of people tell me that COVID is over. Why you still want to talk about this? I say I'm not talking about the last COVID. It's about the future, the next pandemic. Imagine now in your mind, there's a pandemic. You hide at home. You don't want to go for jab because you know. But people, the government right now is legal to break into your house, drag you out, ask you want to jab or not. And if you refuse to jab, it is legal for them to jail you. How does it sound like? Yes. This is more terrible than the Trump tariff. Correct? But what we hear, PAP is only on the Trump tariff. They dare not talk about this. I have bring up this topic many times to different branded opposition parties, but they refuse to bring up this matter. Seriously, we can step down from this election. If any of the opposition party bring up this topic and say, yes, I will bring your topic into the parliament and repeal this act. But unfortunately, none of the opposition party is willing to bring this up. And we are the only one that's talking about that. So ask yourself, if your body doesn't belong to you, right now the law has made it your body belong to the state, because the state say, I want you to jab, you have to jab. If not, it's criminalized. I have been an ex-law enforcer. And I know enforcing a law can be very cold and very merciless sometimes. But laws are enacted in the parliament. And that's why we have to go into the parliament and change the law. So I hope all of you here tonight, for the first time, if you heard about this amendment of this Infectious Disease Act, amendment in the Corona Act, please spread to your friends. A lot of people do not believe PAP has done that. And the worst is our opposition currently in the parliament did not speak up anything when this amendment was made in 2023. If you don't believe, check the parliamentary Hansard. So what is Hansard? Hansard is a record, verbal record, they record down into black and white. Just now, Thaddeus said, Mr. Lee Hsien Loong, our former Prime Minister, said, vaccination is not compulsory, but that's verbal. Believe in the law, which is the black and white. The second reason why I'm in the politics is because I see a rotting culture in our governance. We start to see one country, two system, 一国两制. So, take for example, in 2016, we have seen publicly in our eyes, in the parliament, the constitution, before the constitution was amended, our minister, Chan Chun Sing, called our Speaker of House, Madam Halima. What did he call? Madam President. Madam President, he called it twice. You don't believe? You go to the YouTube, you search Madam President, Chan Chun Sing. YouTube will show. It's all there. Let me ask you, did PAP make a mockery of our parliament? Did they make a mockery and make fun of our parliamentary process? Second, following 2016-2017, our former Prime Minister, Lee Hsien Loong, bring his family affair into where? Yes, very good. Into the parliament. Let me ask you, is this abuse of parliamentary process?
Yes.
Is it allowed? No. Why didn't any PAP MPs stood up and say, hey boss, wrong lah. Cannot like that, no. 这个是国会，不是家庭法庭. You have family issue, bring to the family court. You are abusing the parliamentary process. For those PAP supporters here, I urge you to look again. PAP has abused your trust and abused the parliamentary system for their own. 一手遮天，一党独大，对我们是没有好处的。And most recently, 2020, during COVID, Vivian Balakrishnan confirm, double confirm, say the Trace Together token is only to be used for tracing of our movement. But what did we see? An opposition party members actually asked, is this correct? Are you correct? And he has to apologize that the Trace Together data can be used for criminal investigation. But the deeper question we should ask is our Minister of Home Affairs, Shanmugam, in the parliament when he double confirmed? He is. Why didn't he correct Vivian Balakrishnan? This is, to me as a citizen, I feel that this is lying to the members of public. And in most recent years, anyone remember the Keppel corruption case? As an ex police officer and a SIO, I cannot believe is a stern warning. 55 million of amount. The case has been tried in US. They have plead guilty, PG. And back home in Singapore, there's no investigation. Who approved the 55 million USD? It's not $55 or $5.50. All this payment has been paid over several years across different people. It cannot be a stern warning. Something is wrong with our system. When you see something is wrong, when you sense something is wrong, you have to stand up. I'm in politics not about winning or losing. Last night, after I appear on TV, a lot of my friends say, 包输啊你 deposit 一定输到脱裤。工人党进来，品牌这么大，讲打。But I say, I'm not here for the winning or losing. I do not have political aspiration. I'm here to bring the truth. I serve with only one heart and to bring this vaccine issue to all of you so that you all know what you are voting for. Don't let WP and the brand affect your decision. Ask yourself why WP did not object to this amendment of Infectious Disease Act. Ask yourself, do you agree to being pulled out from your house, to force jab, or thrown behind bar? I know Zheng Dao during the COVID period. He was an NS police officer also. He refused to take the jab. He was threatened to be thrown behind bar under DB. DB stands for Detention Barrack. It is very real in our life. During that period of time, he was quite panicked and frightened. But eventually, I told him the law doesn't have this thing. But eventually, they did not throw him into DB. But they post him to other work, administrative work to do. But this time round, they have changed the law. And it's totally legal to do that. I won't say so much. I will pass my time to my next speaker. I hope all of you listen to our policy manifesto and vote for us. PPP. Majulah Singapore.
Thank you, Derek. He's very passionate in the rule of law. You know, in the rule of law, the law must follow. And the promises made by the government must be made, right? Must be carried out. But you do know what? A lot of people are forced to take the jab when they work. However, when the MOH or the government says, oh, you are vaccinated, you can have compensation. How many people actually had that compensation? Very few. Not zero, but very few. I have a friend whose wife worked in Changi Hospital. She was forced to take 2 jabs. But after 2 jabs, she felt panting. She's afraid to take the 3rd jab. And do you know what? They said, oh, you like that, then you have to go to the other side. But her body condition actually deteriorated. And they dismissed her during COVID time. Right? She is panting just by walking a few steps. And they want her to take the 3rd jab. Who in the right mind would do that? If it's you, would you do that? But she was dismissed. And the government allows it. According to the Changi Hospital, it's according to the law. But if according to the law, she faced this problem, can she make claims? No, they say nothing to do with it. That's absurd. When it suits them, they will follow the law. When you want to make them pay you compensation, they will not follow the law. They will say nothing to do with the jet. The experts say so. And in the news, if you read, one person took 3 jabs in spite of having poor condition. She was paralyzed. Also from the hospital, SGH. And what happened to her? Oh, okay. You have a condition like that. We take care of your medical. Fine, right? Still give her full pay for 1 year. After 1 year, cut the pay for another half year. But later on, dismiss her because she can no longer work. And she eventually got a divorce from the husband. Who is going to take care of her? Not the government. And many people are lucky that nothing happens to them. But there are also people who are not so lucky. Leave no man behind is the slogan that I first used in politics. I'm the first one. Lim Pei is the first one. Right? They say this in 2006. Leave no man behind. Because I believe as an officer, which is trained, we are trained to leave no man behind. But talk only. How many people, Lawrence Wong, have you left behind? Throw them under the bus. Right? Talking about leave no man behind. Right? The next speaker is actually our lady speaker, as well as Malay candidate for Tampines. I told her she got a very important task. Why? The 2 main parties are led by 2 MPs, not MP, 1 minister and 1 MP who are Malay. Because in Tampines, there are 23% of Malay votes. Right? But I told her, don't be fearful because they are MPs or ministers. Because you have a golden heart. She did charity work, community work for her community, which all these buggers cannot compare. Let's hear her.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Arba Harun. I live in Tampines. I have 5 children. All are boys. The first one is in NUSC. The first one is in NTU. The second one is in NUSC. The other 2 are in Polytechnic. The last one is in lower secondary. Okay. My involvement in social and charity work has given me an better understanding about how the people has struggled for so long. I received so many complaints. Okay. I came across many families who only can afford to eat 1 meal per day. Sometimes they also eat instant noodles. It's very hard, very sad to see that situation. Got one time, there was one old lady. I was so shocked, There was one old lady around about 70 plus knocked on my door. I said, why? How come? you need to come to my house. It's not that I lecture her. Only that I was so shocked. I have never came across someone like that knock on my door. So she said, it's not that I don't want to ask from bigger organization, but then they lecture me a lot and expect me to work. I have heart problem, some part of lung disease, so I cannot work so hard. So I say, okay, you came to the right door. Coincidentally, I am running a small charity work, so I took note of her contact number. So up to now, we still keep in touch. Every time she has problem, she will complain to me. And also, the recent case, another case, there's one needy complained that the husband, I think the MP might be shocked if I expose this. I hope you don't go and, check or call up your needy wife complain to me about this. Because the needy complained to me that the husband was caught due to driving problem, maybe license or what. I didn't ask for the details because that time I was in a hurry, but then I still listened. Then she said that my husband cannot cannot be released. Why? What happened? He would be jailed about 5 years. So why is it so long? You have children. Who's going to take care of you? Yeah, I have to survive from the organization, government bodies. They did help, but then it's not enough. You see, while the husband is still in the jail, but then my needy said. Actually, the MP already helped from 15 years lesson to 5 years. I said, but still so long. Who's going to support you? Because a few of her children actually cannot walk, disability problem. The other few have what's this called? Autism. It's very young children. So she always cry. Every time she complains, she will cry. I also cry together with her. So there are a lot of needy cases. Very sad, which I also don't know how to tell you all, but you all must realize that while you are working, while you are having food, there are somebody else who don't have enough food. That's how you can see. So obviously, I'm going to champion for the high cost of living, for family needs, and also for Singaporeans. Okay. Other than that, of course, about job securities. Okay, there are many people also say that they have high qualification, but very hard to get job. One of them is my friends. Oh, can you hear? Oh, I say sorry. Okay. That's another issues that I'm going to contest. Another issues I'm going to fighting for. Other than that, I also came across elderly people complain about their CPF retirement. She complained to me, Arpa, I already bought houses with high taxes. Then I don't have enough money, retirement. So I think it happened to most of you, right? Am I right? So high cost of living is not only affecting the needies, but also every Singaporean, directly or indirectly. Even rich people also get affected. by high taxes. So by then, please make use of your vote and vote wisely for us. Okay, I would like to speak in Malay for my community. Okay. Nama saya Arba'ah Harun. Saya mempunyai 5 anak. 2 yang sudah dewasa, 1 di NUSC dan 1 di NTU, lagi 2 di Politeknik. Dan yang bungsu adalah dari lower secondary. Cuma saya nak cakap sedikit, hal semalam di Nomination Center, tiba-tiba saja Encik Faisal Manap dan Pitam Singh timbul. Kenapa? Jauh-jauh daripada Aljunied, daripada Merimprit, sanggup sampai ke Tampines. Sedangkan saya ni dengan Faisal Manap, kita agak lama juga kenal dan juga pernah bekerjasama di sebuah majlis untuk kerja amal. Okay. Seterusnya, dalam khidmat kepada masyarakat, saya telah menubuhkan Sahabat Sedunia, Friends Worldwide. Ia sudah lama, lebih daripada 10 tahun sebenarnya. So, dengan sokongan keluarga dan kawan-kawan saya yang terapat, kita menjalankan kerja amal ini dengan kemampuan kami sendirilah. Dan juga kita selalu mendengar keluhan masyarakat kita sendiri dan juga orang Singapura yang lain. Saya tidak hanya fokus kepada mereka yang tinggal di rumah rental, tetapi juga yang tinggal di rumah 5 bilik pun ada datang komplain kepada saya. Kadang-kadang mereka beli rumah mahal, lepas tu suami tiba-tiba kena buang kerja. So macam mana mereka nak tampung anak yang ramai? Itu rumah 5 bilik. So kepada siapa mereka mau mengadu? Betul tak? I mean, I told my Malay community that the needies, not only the needies get affected, but then there was one case, the 5-room house owners also came to complain to me because the husband lose job. So, and they also have many children. So how? Who's going to help them? So they came to me for help. So we are flexible. We are not like some government bodies. But of course, I have to refer to my families and friends. We discuss about it together, how to help them. Okay, I think that's all that I want to say. Only I have a pantun, a poem. Okay. To Encik Mas Agus. Mas Agus, Encik Mas Agus, makan jagung tersangkut janggut. Janggut bukan sebarang janggut. Sejarah janganlah melalut, nanti ditolak ke laut. Terima kasih.
You know, it's an irony, Akbar actually helps Fazal Manap, the Workers' Party, to do community charity work in Aljunied, as well as Marine Parade. But today, they are actually competing. But it's okay. They are still friends. We compete on the heart to build this nation. The next speaker is supposed to be Mr. Peter So, right? Peter So, maybe you Peter, stand up. Yeah. Right? He's not feeling well, right, today, so he shall not speak today. My apologies. right? Sit too long, sometimes doesn't feel well, right? Pardon him. Okay? Okay. No. Okay, the next speaker, also we are a very young speaker, very inspiring speaker, right? We're Nathan Shen Li.
Can you guys hear me? All right, excellent. I just want to start by saying thank you so much for coming down tonight. I know it's a weekday. I know that you're tired. I know that you still got work tomorrow, but you're here. And I'm truly grateful. Truly, thank you so much for coming. I actually prepared a speech on my phone to say to you guys, but when I sat down here and looked at everyone, I decided that I will just skip that. I just want to talk to you guys. And honestly, I can't really see very clearly. The light is in my eye, and then this barricade is here, so you guys are very far away, which is unfortunate. But before I came up here, I managed to speak to a few of you. I think there's a Auntie Jolene somewhere, and then my friend Yi Heng is here, and you know, some of you I know that you came to support us. And I know why you came. Because I think in your heart you know that the People's Power Party is not about fame, it's not about politics, it's not about all these games. It's about truth. It's about speaking the truth and making sure the people hold the power. Not the people serving the government. The government is supposed to serve us. It's about you. It's about each of you. It's about this man here, that woman there. I heard children just now. I think they were playing, which is good. It's about them. You ask yourself, if we allow this kind of attitude in the government to continue, what are we teaching the young ones? We're teaching them that injustice, when it's done by some higher power, you just overlook it. You just let it go because we're powerless. That's what you're teaching the young people. That's why people my age don't want to come up here. It's scary. It's terrifying to stand here in front of strangers, put your neck on the line, possibly even look like a fool. But to do what is right, it's scary. And when we have an environment where our young people feel it's not worth it, then you have a big problem. A bigger problem than economic turmoil, bigger problem than any external threat. It becomes a problem where Singaporeans don't feel like this place belongs to them anymore. And that's unacceptable. I made this mistake. I'll admit it honestly. I'm someone who thought this way. That, you know what, it's okay, never mind. Someone else will take over. Someone else will do a better job. Someone more qualified than me. After all, who am I? I'm just a normal guy. I'm just a homeschool kid who loves nature, who loves people. That's all. But I'm not going to give myself this excuse any longer. And I hope, I pray that other people, young people like me, my age, I think there are a few of them here now, that you don't give up hope. Don't tell yourself, don't believe this lie that you can't change anything, because that's not true. You can change something. You can do it. We can do it together. And that's what this is about. I think everyone spoke very well. I'm a bit biased. Zheng Tao is my personal friend, so I'm really inspired by him. He's just 24 years old, but yet you hear how he carries himself, how he speaks with conviction, because he knows what's going on the ground. And that's the kind of people that are here, seated behind me. People who know what's happening on the ground, who don't have their head up in the clouds on some ivory tower. I'll tell you what, the most idealistic person in this whole group is probably me. And that's fine. I'm fine with being the idealist because I'm in good company. I always believe that if you reach for the sky, you will find yourself on the peaks of the mountains. What does that mean? That if you seek perfection, you will achieve greatness. So a little bit of controlled idealism is a good thing, in my opinion. The number one thing that concerns me right now in Singapore is mainly trust. I think the older generation, they know what the PAP stood for all those years ago. It was about the people, People's Action Party. Lee Kuan Yew, he did that. The PAP at that time, they did that. They earned our trust. And we told them, okay, you take it. We put our lives in your hand. Do well with it. We trust you. Not with money, it's our lives. That trust is what holds this nation together. If we lose that, everything is lost. And then all of this is for nothing. Why do I say that? Because if we can't believe that the government, the leadership, has our best interests in mind, when a real crisis strikes, what do you think is going to happen? The people who know that the government doesn't care about them or feel that way, they're going to give up. Their spirit is going to break. And that will be the end of it. Because we won't be able to come together to deal with the storms that are coming ahead. And let's not kid ourselves. There are storms coming ahead. It's the truth. There always will be. There will be good times. There will be bad times. We have to stick together through it all. We cannot lose sight of who we are. And this is the problem I see right now. That the government in Singapore has lost sight of their original role, which is to serve the people. We are not going to forget that. I also ask myself, because words are cheap, I understand. It's easy to stand here and then say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Okay? Where's the proof? Good question. The People's Power Party is the only party with the guts, the gumption, to bring up an issue no one wants to talk about. That's the issue of the vaccine. Now, they've all explained clearly. I don't want to repeat and then bore you all. I know you're all tired, huh? But if we allow this kind of attitude to remain, then we become the ones to blame. We have to make our voices clear about what we want and who's in charge here actually, which is all of you. Not even me. I'm just here to share my heart, to take whatever concerns to the top of the leadership. That's all. But you guys are in charge. I've come, if anything, is to serve all of you. That's what we all are here for. We're here to serve. That's all. It's not about winning games and popularity contests, looking special. No. It's about the people. The government might be the brains, but the citizens are the spine of the nation. They are the muscles, the sinew, the bones. So what? You have a bright, intelligent, you're so smart. Without the people, the government is nothing. It's about us. So don't forget that. Don't forget what is owed to you and ask for it. Demand for it because you have that right. Right here already, we have so many votes, so many opinions, so much force to make a change for the good, not just of ourselves, for our children. They don't know anything. They are just children. We have to stand up for them. We have to make sure the brighter future for the next generation exists. The current generation. And we don't do that by rolling over and dying. We do that by making a stand. That's why I say that this is our assurance. The People's Power Party's assurance is this, that we are willing and we are demonstrating it here that we are willing to talk about issues no one else is willing to. We're willing to put our necks on the line. Yeah, people said, like Derek said just now, maybe we'll lose our deposit. Okay. But it was because we are fighting for truth. Because we are fighting for what's right. And that's worth the sacrifice. That's our assurance. That it doesn't matter how bad it looks, we will bring the truth into the parliament. This is our assurance to you. I think that it's quite obvious, based on this, who I would trust, who I would put my life in their hands. Okay? And it's not a government that is comfortable stealing my rights, calling it privileges. It's not a government that is comfortable with forcing a gun to my head and then telling me it's for national security. No. And it's also I have no confidence in the people who claim to be opposition parties who kept silent on this. Again, if someone else would bring this up, you know it already. We don't need to be here and fight so hard. All of us here are not millionaire CEOs. Okay? We need to work so that we can eat tomorrow. We're just normal people. It's not like we got so much free time, then we come here and then, wayang, and then try to put on a show. It's not the case. We're here because we feel that our lives are at stake. And the people behind me can't sleep at night knowing that we could have done something, but we didn't. So we're not going to let it go. So this is my assurance. This is all I can say to you. I know words are just words, but I hope you can see, based on what we've been doing, our intention, our heart, what we want for Singapore. Our vision for Singapore is a place where we are one united people. We are free to be Singaporeans, and that we can call this place home. Not try to go somewhere else, to find retirement somewhere else. This is our home. This is the ground. This is where we should make our last stand. If anything happens, it's going to be us dealing with it. Not the people who came here to work, and that's fine. They want to come here and work. It's a testament to what we built. But when crisis hits, it's us together. We are going to have to face it head on. We are going to have to make the decisions. We're going to have to make the sacrifices that will move us forward, that will safeguard our children and our families and our livelihood. Often I feel that this Singapore is like a car. I'm not sure how many of you are drivers, but in front of the steering wheel, there's a dashboard. Okay? It tells you what's happening to the engine, the speed, engine temperature, all this. Sometimes when something goes wrong, the light will come out. One light will come out. Oh, engine light. That means something is wrong. How do you fix the engine? If you ask the current government, they fix the engine by turning off the light. That means, I can't see the problem. So I guess we did it, guys. Yay, victory. That's unbelievable. If the government can't see what's happening to us, we are the engine. We're the ones moving things. If they don't know what's happening to us, how are they going to lead? How are they going to make the decisions? How are they going to know when the engine's overheating and it needs to be brought down, we need to reduce speed, or whatever it needs to be done? They're not going to know. Because there's no one there, there's no instrument that's going to tell them, hey, there's trouble. We're going to be that instrument. The People's Power Party will not keep quiet. We're not going to be an engine light that can just be turned off. We will make sure the issues are brought loud and clear, bright and shining. Like what Goh Meng Sen said, the torch of truth must burn in the parliament. That's our mission. Okay, I don't want to take up too much more time. Again, thank you so much, all of you, for coming here. To whoever's watching on TV, on your phone, wherever, remember that it's more than about politics. It's about our home. It's about building something here that we can be proud of, that we can take ownership of. This is ours. We made it. We'll live here, we'll die here, and no one can take that from us. Don't forget, when you vote, when you make the decision, who are you choosing? What values are you choosing? What are you choosing to pass on to the next generation? It's up to you. Honestly, 5 years is a long time. Really, a lot can happen in 5 years. So be careful. Choose wisely, based on your values, your beliefs. What you know in your heart is right, choose that. Thank you so much.
ผม PP The last is actually our 34 years old, Samuel Lee, but he will not speak today. He will leave his speech for the Amokyo rallies. All right? Yeah. Give him a break, huh? He have a lot of meme on the internet already, right? But before I close this, I believe all of you have attended a lot of rallies. This is very different. Huh? This rally is very different because there's nobody shouting slogan. Have lah, pun PP only lah. This rally is not shouting cost of living. We want GST. Don't want. We want why this is no. This is the only party will talk about vision, core values, and our mission. Because we are adamant on policies. And right now, I'm going to put a challenge. As I put a challenge to every contestant against me in the past, like Ma Bao Tan. Since we have four parties contesting here, it is only right for all voters in Tampines to know what we stand for. I'm going to throw this challenge. I will pay for this. I will invite all the leaders of the other three parties, right? Mr. Masagos, Mr. Fazamanan, and Mr. Reno Fong, to sit in the round table and we will debate about our policies. And this, I will promise you, I will do best. Because I do not need civil servants to write my script for me, right? To do analysis of policies for me. I've been studying policies for not 25 years, or more than that. It's 35 years, ever since I am an econ student. Right? I have the confidence to do that. And this is my challenge to the other three parties. Never mind about your branding. Put it aside. Because people are not choosing your party. People are choosing you. If you want to choose a party, then I have a lot of things to say of your party. Right? A lot of things to say about our party, but no. We have a fair contest. Let's compare our manifesto. And the last policy ideas that comes with our manifesto is something that you will never hear from the other parties. You know, PAP government have just increased the Medishield premium all across ages. And who are the one who suffered most? You guess? Yes, the senior, the retiree. How much? By 35% in the next 3 years. Imagine the retirees are no longer working and you want to increase their premium by 35%? Well, they will say, oh, by the insurance or actuarial, I also do financial economics. I know what they are saying. Oh, the older you get, the risk of going to hospital higher, so we need more premium. But that is mathematics. That is not policies. How do we mitigate this? I can actually reduce the Medisave premium, Medishield premium for them. And they will ask me, where does the money come from? You guess, where does the money come from? No. We have about 1.5 million people, foreigners working in Singapore, right? But do they pay Medishield? Have anybody, any one of you ever think of that? They are the young workers, healthy workers. Before they come, they have a medical checkup. We make them pay the MediShield to increase our risk pooling. And when we do not want to give citizenship so easy, because once you give citizens so easy, the MediShield would have to take care of them for life. We are against that, unless he is a spouse of a Singaporean, right? And when we do that, when they retire from their job in Singapore, the balik kampung, their country will take care of them. Whatever we earn from their premium belongs to us. And we use this to reduce the MediShield premium for our retirees, especially. Is that a good idea? Who can think of such ideas? None. Ever since MediShield was implemented. Why didn't they want to do that? I will tell you why they didn't want to do that. Because instead of making these foreign laborers to pay MediShield, they pay workers' levy. It goes into the government coffers, not to serve our Singaporeans, not to serve our retirees. And that is the heartless government that we have. This is a reality of a fiscal policies that can be made, that we can take to serve Singapore. We always complain, oh, we have an aging population. Who is going to take care of our elderly, right? So they want more people to come in to work. But when they come in to work, they didn't help our elderly, do they? This is the only mechanism that we can make them pay the MediShield and serve the aging population. And it is only sound to do that. This is nothing great, nothing special. Taiwan have done that. Because if you work in Taiwan, you will have to pay the universal medical insurance. That is how it works. Our scholars cannot be so stupid, right? They did not want to implement it. I'm not the brightest. They are the brightest. Why aren't they doing it? This is one of the policy I want to bring into Parliament and say, hey, why did they want you to do it? You only want to collect workers' levy? That is not right. So I say, this is a very special, you will never see this in other rallies. They will rah, 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 because rally is rah, rah. Right? We talk about policies, serious policies that will affect from the old, the middle age, and the young ones. I have not finished my manifesto. I may basically rehearse all my manifesto off the cuff because I wrote that manifesto and discussed with my team. It is a very simple manifesto. You can buy it for $10 only. And if you really believe that we will lose our deposit, I tell you, we will not lose it. We may even win this election. And I'm not Hao Xiao, I'm not boasting. If and only if all the vax injured, all the vax skeptic, all the pro-safe vax people in Tampines unite in voting for the truth of the torch. And do you know why it is a torch for my party? When I set up this party, when I was young, my primary school is Ealing North, Bo Liao, but the logo is actually a torch. Then underneath it says, knowledge is power. Only with knowledge you have truth, and with truth you have power. That's what People's Power Party stands for. And we will bring this torch into Parliament and debate all the policies to rationalize it. Why aren't you doing certain things? And why are you doing certain evil things? And with that, I thank you for your attendance for this weekend. And thank you so much. And vote for PPP People's Power Party with your heart, not your emotions. With your heart, and you truly believe in our core values, our policy options, and our vision to bring a safe home for everyone in Singapore. Thank you.
Trump is around, I would think they will then launch it. I don't think. Yeah. Because I think the last time the pandemic came out, it's like when it was its last year. Then after that they were not scared. They went to launch the pandemic. So I give like I estimate lah. Like when his term the last year they'll launch the pandemic again. Yeah.
Thank you. Quite dark, I think. Thank you very much. I haven't get the executive details yet, but once it's up, right, we will share it on the Facebook, the People's Power Party Facebook page. You are Tampines voter or Ang Mo Kio voter? Yes, okay. We need to consolidate. To us, the only People's Power Party be the most effective alternative party.
No, I live in Ang Mo Kio. Because I know the other parties, they can actually run on.
Thanks for coming. Yeah. Thanks for
Your home and online. How are you?
Tanjung Pagar.
You're under Tanjung Pagar, not under Jalan Besar.
Jalan Besar is next block.
Really?
Next block.
I just want to say
You go.
I'm not in the right direction. I'm just going to
Where are you from? What's your name? Anyone want to manage? Yeah,